About 400 years after the Buddha's death, um, the Buddhist Sangha started writing down the sutras, and it's from around this period that the Prajnaparamita Sutras originated. And around the same time, what became known as Abidharma literature started to be produced. And what that was each individual Buddhist sect attempting to summarize Buddhist doctrines in the form of question and answer. And as they did this, they had some difficulty. So, for example, if nothing has a self, what is there to carry karma? If nirvana and samsara are opposite, then how do they relate to each other? And if they're the same, then why do they appear so different? And so on. And in an attempt to create a consistent philosophy, divergences started to occur. And so you would get some sects that affirmed something that seemed quite like a self, and you got other sects that would say, well, it's not a self, but karma persists because past, present, and future all exist, and so on. And really, in this attempt to elaborate a consistent philosophy, then various different schools appeared, which in due course led to the creation of Mahayana, of which Zen forms a part. However, the enterprise to create a consistent philosophy was based on a false premise. The most persistent way of describing the Buddha is as a physician. So people would come to him with particular queries, particular distresses, particular sources of puzzlement. It would be specific, and the Buddha would give an answer specific to them, just like a good physician would not prescribe the same medicine to all these patients, irrespective of the illnesses that they presented with. And it's really on this basis that we need to understand Buddhist language. So there's an essential insight on the part of the Buddha that we suffer because we cling to what we have, to what we want, to what we hate, to what we don't have, but fear that we will acquire, and so on. And that's why we suffer. So the language is a kind of provisional language. It's not a philosophy. It's a strategy to address this basic wound. And that's why there's apparently inconsistent language. That's why sometimes Buddhists talk of no self, and other times they talk of Buddha nature, other times they talk of emptiness, of suchness. a very, very wide range of languages, but we need to understand these languages in terms of our sickness and our health rather than in terms of literal truth. It's as if a doctor gives us a prescription for medicine, instead of taking the prescription and getting the medicine and taking that, we eat the prescription.